Hi guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome back to the Heart Talk show. Welcome back to another episode of the Heart Talk. And as you can see, I have a guest, a handsome looking man here, a firebrand man, sitting right next beside me. Can you introduce yourself?
Kiriki for
Okay, is that all? Let
introduction.
them know now. He's a 500 level student, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, studying mechanical engineering. And is this an apostle? Anyway, so let's get back to business. So, the topic of today is shining as light. I got this topic last week Saturday while I was praying, and your name just popped up, and I said, okay, you'll be the right person to. And it's interesting how he actually wore white today. Wow, that's interesting. So, okay,
Alright.
let's start with what you will just be preaching because I don't know if there'll be questions. You'll be
Okay.
speaking as the spirit leads. So, what do you understand by, or how can we address this topic, shining as light?
Look at our light always associated with darkness.
Yeah.
So if you are associated as a light or as light, anywhere that is a little bit of darkness, wherever you go to, you should be able to represent light. So look at shining as light, academic fairs, political fairs, all around. Wherever you are, just be shining as light. You are able to illuminate darkness, like bring light to where darkness is.
That's like a very wide explanation on shine as light. How do you think we as believers, let's start with believers right now, how do you think we can shine as light in our various capacity, like wherever we find ourselves? I believe we have like teenagers who will be watching, we have young adults who will be watching. How can we shine as light?
You should understand that looking at the context of the sun, whenever there
Okay.
is no sun, there is no light. And
Hmm.
the moon, the moonlight, the way how God created the earth, first of all, remember that the world was in darkness, void, it was complete darkness. And then God said, let there be light. The reason why God could profess light was because he understood that he could speak to light and light to come out. That's why in the book of the scriptures, second Corinthians 12, it says, that he commanded light to shine out of darkness. So it means that we as Christians, we as believers, we can actually, from the scriptures, we can use the power that God used to command light, to come out of darkness, to shine out of darkness, to also command our own light to shine forth in the world of darkness. How do we shine as light in darkness? First of all, let me give you an example. Probably as a guy, yeah, being called to political office. And the question is, you know that they are dark. Okay? Dark person in the sense that they are doing things that are wrong, stealing funds, looting, all
Mm-hmm.
manner of things, and extortion of everything. Now, the meaning that number one, you're going to stand alone. Because it's to the extent you're illuminated, to the extent you can shine in darkness. So if you bring a dim torch, so you want to look for something in a dark room, you know that you suffer.
Yeah.
But when you bring a brighter touch, it's much easier to see what you're looking for. Same thing, if the light that is in us is just still shallow, it's still kind of dim, it has not been furnished enough. If you must shine as a light, you must have, number one, have a conviction. You must be like, okay, I know who I am. People don't know who they are. That's why they cannot stand in the place of darkness because they
Hmm.
don't understand that they are light themselves.
People don't know who they are.
Yeah. So if you know who you are, first of all, who am I? I am the image of God. You're an image of God, and God is light. I am light. How do you interact with persons? The little conversations are there still little things that you see that still have certain things of insult, certain things of bad words. All these are little things that make people all those people are the same self. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no clear cut. Your light is not so bright. So if you must really shine as light, you must really come from the context of God is light and I should be light. So the essence to which God to shine is to the extent that I should shine.
Wow. I actually love that. So I want us to be more direct now. Let's come to the aspect of academics right now, because I feel like some students will watch this video. I believe there are students who are believers, but they are finding it difficult in excelling in their academics. How can they portray like the light of God in their academics?
This question is a very wonderful one. But let's see from this note. I'm a Christian and I'm also a student.
Mm,
I'm a Christian student. Now, the fact that you are a Christian does not identify you as a student. And why a student does not identify you as a Christian. This very should make it together. So, it means that as a Christian student, I should shine the light of God. Many persons don't even have goals again because they feel as Christians, after all, but I'm coming to a place of balance because
okay.
when you talk about combining spirituality and academic life, the truth is that there is a level you want to go spiritually that you might not be able to balance properly academically. But that is at the extreme. And looking at a Christian student, you can be a Christian, you can be powerful, wonderful, everything, and yet your academic results are still wonderful. Now, if you have a goal, you have a dream. A goal is not just I want to graduate from university, or a goal is not vague. A goal is specific. A goal is direct. A goal is measurable. Like you can count it. So a goal can be in one of my courses. I don't want to get into less than 77. When you have that kind of setting in you, you can be able to shine as a light because it's like you have a goal. Yeah, you're looking at. You have something instead of you, a driving force. Yeah. So you are praying to God and also looking at the plans you have made and the goals to achieve.
Okay. The second scenario, let's assume a student right now is watching, a female student that stays in the hostel is watching, and then there are a lot of distractions. I mean, shine as light, but restrictions here and there, roommate and so on. How can she shine as light in that, environment, despite the whole disturbances and restrictions?
Well, in this scenario, I think I've had many questions like this before now. And I understand the environment where in hostel you see Friday, sit the room is almost empty. People have gone
Yeah.
out to
Mm,
meet the guy, and even when they come back, they begin to talk about what they did and all those things are
mm-hmm.
disgusting and your light. It's not every environment that your light can go. There are environment that you need to carry your light and above from your environment.
Wow.
Now, let's be more
Okay,
direct.
explain.
You are in a hostel. You see your after they're back from from wherever they went to, they were
Mm-hmm.
discussing about that, and then you're still discussing all these things, and you are still seated there.
Mm,
I said, after all, I'm reading my book, or you even carry your Bible, and you open your Bible and you're reading. Why are you discussing all these things?
mm.
Your heart is the ear, what you're hearing, the conversations, even what the others describing it, your eyes are all gateways to your heart. The wisdom there is for you to take off everything you are doing and leave there.
Okay.
Now, I remember when I was in first year, I had a similar experience personally. At that point, I had to tell myself, oh, this cannot be there. And I left
Mm,
them. Now, if I was to be a soul winner to them, the best I can do is to pray for them. Of course, I've prayed to them. And I believe such a
mm,
person must have prayed to the roommates. And if you really understand that shining as light does not necessarily mean just shouting, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. It's by the life we live. People read us
mm,
through the light, like our they are reading us like people.
mm.
So
So our life also speaks volumes.
our life is also part of our life. So
Mm,
if our life does not correlate with the light, then we are not shining as light. So you need to understand that it's not just about coming as a people are very, very immoral. People are very and all what you do is just to lambast them. You need to understand that if you have to shine as light, ask yourself what would Jesus do? I remember this passage came to me in my first year. That's the very that was entering him. I read that passage. And what God was trying to tell me was it's funny. But God was telling me that what did Jesus do? Jesus Christ bent down and he was writing on the ground. So God was trying to tell me that he was trying to preserve his eyes from the sun.
mm.
Because the man was brought in naked. Because that was the custom there, that anyone caught his adultery is being brought naked and then stoned to death. So that's what I saw. I saw Jesus Christ himself preserving his own state. So when you see you want to shine as light and you want to be like you are in a place where things they are still no man of nothing. The atmosphere is inward. The atmosphere, and you say I am a light. After all, I begin to pray in tongues there. That is wisdom, wisdom,
Wisdom.
wisdom, wisdom is important. It tells us that we how to protect our eyes from seeing the things we ought not to see. Protect our ears from seeing the things it ought not to hear because it will dim your light. So imagine as a believer, after hearing such things, I want to pray. As you are praying, most you are seeing is a visual appearance of what you have been seeing, and your light already. You can't even pray again. You can't even you won't read the Bible. So it's important that we know how to preserve our lights.
Yeah.
As probably you hostel, see anything like that, you leave. You don't try to be in that kind of discussion and then you are trying to tell yourself, just leave,
Just leave.
just leave. Yeah.
Because I actually remembered in my first year, I don't know. So there's this roommate I had, and she's like very loud girl, and she would always want to play loud music, discuss like discussions that are not meant to be discussed, and so on. And so myself, I'll try. I think, I don't know if I was doing the right thing. I'll try to like, I don't want God help me. So I'll be like, you're not doing the right thing. Stop this thing you are saying. This is that. And the girl got annoyed. Like she nearly slapped me that day. She's like, what are you trying to? Are you trying to control me? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to report to the dean. This is that. I don't like what you're doing. Can you just stop discussing these things in the room? This is that. So as you're saying right now that if you're in a situation, you either walk out or you leave. But then what if such events keeps occurring? Like working out, is there no place like to preach to that person? How will you handle it in that aspect?
You
Because
know what I said was you don't preach to so now just a point. Let me just paint a picture. Like you just imagine now that kind of thing happens. I believe that you must have started preaching to that person through your lifetime. If the person should have known you as this is your
this
life.
is yes.
So it's not as though that is the first time that you want to now this thing you're doing is bad.
It's fine. You're right.
You're already the person. Do you know that love is more powerful? The act of love shows to someone is more powerful than the words you can give. At certain time. Now, there's the way you will love somebody, show love to somebody, that person will not feel bad for doing wrong to you. There's a way you can. So now there are little act of love here and there. So winning is not in the preaching alone. It's in intercession.
Perception.
At happy moments, how far, notice you don't just there's a wisdom that God will give you to bring the word at a certain point in time. If you want to use the place of combat, when person
Yeah.
wants to talk, you want to fire, fire,
It doesn't work.
you end up you yourself you get frustrated. The person will get more at it. So far as one has one. So it's just wisdom. And you know that there are certain times to run. I had a man of God preaching toward yesterday. He said he went to the country for the program and then in the hotel he was staying. I think they're having the conference in that particular hotel. So the first day he went, I wanted to see, he saw women that were almost naked. And he knows that the gateway to his heart is with the eyes. Because Bible says the light of the body is the eyes. And he knew that if the eye is evil, the whole body is full of darkness.
Yeah.
And he had to tell himself that he ran back inside the room. And till the 7 days ended that he was staying in that particular place, he never came out. And when he was able to come out, he made sure he came out as early as afternoon period. And then he went to peace. Now, what I learned from there was he was so particular about protecting his eyes. Whatever thing you can do, it might be inconvenient. Of course, you might want to go out to other things. Let's just stay in the hotel from morning to night. We want to visit other, but because he knows that going out, it affected my heart. We knew that he needed to prioritize that. So you don't just claim I'm a strong person after all. I can listen to those things. You must be very deliberate about it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's also look at the aspect of teenagers right now, looking at how the world is, moving and everything. And then it's almost impossible for us to see like a teenager that is burning, on fire for God, and due to the influences here and there, how can they shine as light in their capacity? We also see even from their classrooms, whenever like if somebody wants to, there's a boy or a girl that wants to rise up for God, there'll be intimidations here and there. So how can they shine up? Actually, yeah, how can they shine as light in that
Okay.
capacity?
Okay. Now, so if you really want, if you must burn, the flames of fire must burn from inside because it's not mechanical. You don't fake it. It's something that you cannot control. It just burns up. You can find yourself praying as long as 4 hours. You can find yourself praying for just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray. And the Holy
Mm,
Ghost begins to when you want to burn for God, the first thing that God will do, He does not just allow you burn for the world. He first allow you burn in Him.
mm,
So He first takes you to a place of refining fire, where He begins to burn certain things. And if if your aim to shine as light is just so that when people see me, they see the glory of God, they see the fire of God, things
mm.
fall down, all these things are healing. If that's your aim, that means you're not ready to go find God. Because if you have to go find God, the first thing that God will do is to bring you to Himself. Now I see He first brought them in before He sent them.
Let's look at the church now, for instance.
Mm.
We always, if we look at how would I use right now, discouraging factors, we say, okay, maybe it's outside the church. But if we look inside the church, there are also like factors that can make one to feel discouraged. Take for instance, like your pastor's children right now, and it's expected that okay, this one should shine as lights. They should be like an example to others, and you are trying in your capacity to shine as lights too. But then after seeing like their lives and everything, there are every chances that you might get discouraged. So how do you encourage yourself and keep pushing for someone out there that is currently in this phase right now where the person is trying to come up, but looking at factors, I'm like, looking at this thing, if Pastor so Charles can be this way, let me also go that way. What do you have to say? Because I'll confess, like there's a point, there was a point that I looked at like this high profile pastor's children I won't mention, and then I was going to the social media handles and what I saw with my eyes, I'm like, wait a minute, doesn't mean that this kingdom, this born again stuff, doesn't mean that it's for just for us and it's not for them. So I was not telling myself that if it's like, yeah, I had to encourage myself. But if there was someone that is not is still trying to grow in the faith, we are still growing. But someone that has not really had that strong convictions for whatever he or she is doing, and then seeing factors like that, the person can easily get misled. So what will you say to that person watching right now?
Well, you know what I'll say. First of all, you need to understand that is your life and not our life.
Hmm.
This is the point here. My own life, my entirety of life is different from yours. It's
Hmm.
just different from someone else, and someone else, and someone else. Now you need to understand that. So I'm actually running my life. So you now understand that. That's why in the scriptures you don't have mentorship. You only have discipleship.
Hmm.
So mentorship is trying to become like somebody, but discipleship is
Yeah.
pointing someone to
To
Jesus.
Jesus.
So if you really understand that, you will know that I don't have a carbon copy of my life. I should use as a point of you know
Footprint.
footprint or a mirror. Yeah. So okay, this is a pastor's child. So let me follow what a pastor's child is doing. Or this is a general overseer's child.
Hmm.
Let me follow what that general overseer's child is doing. You get now. So the only mirror I feel is Jesus. Not just I just feel, but I know and I'm very sure it's Jesus. And that's why you must understand that your relationship with Jesus is personal.
Hmm.
And if you look at the world for a standard, you will lose your standard. No, get it?
I love this quote.
If you look at the world for
Very
standard,
standards.
you will lose your standard. Because someone else's standard is far different from your standard. My calling is different from someone else's calling. My ambition is different from someone else's ambition. So why do I look at someone else's standard? Probably because of the parents' status quo or the parents' position in church, and I begin to compare. So my own question
Hmm.
is, am I looking to be great? I'm looking to be like this person. So if your own gaze is to be great, then why do you compare your life with that person? Having known that there's a vision for my life, there's a plan for my life. So if no one is doing what God wants me to do, then I should stand. And you know how I celebrate my our father does that is Pastor Elfin. He's someone that when I look at the story, I just look at someone that man stood alone.
Hmm.
He was a lone ranger starting the party. And holiness was not, he was a lone ranger. And the way people stand. So now that brings us to the point of if you have someone as a standard, that means you have no standard for it.
Hmm.
So your only standard should be Jesus.
Jesus.
Just God, what should I do? Because the pressure is much.
Is much.
The pressure is much. We're in a world where everybody wants to do things. If this person was like this, my own should be later. You want to. So my own point of view is who are you trying to give the pressure to? Are you trying to please God or are you trying to please the world? Because this is where people really miss it. So they want to do things because they want people to say, this person did this. You get. Now, meanwhile, God's ambition or plan for you is just be simple. Just be simple. And so my advice to anyone out there that have seen maybe some church leaders, children moving out or doing things that is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to compare your life with your life? Do you think your life is
Hmm.
equal to their life? Some people feel because their parents are this, my own parents are not this, I'm lower than. No.
Hmm.
You,
Exactly. Hmm. Thanks
it's,
for raising
it's,
this point.
it's, it's, to me, I see it as foolishness.
Exactly.
You know, I see it as foolishness.
Hmm.
Imagine if everybody's father and mother were Jews,
Hmm.
who would be the one to serve at the usher?
Exactly.
Who would be the one to serve as the choir member? Who would be the one to play the keyboard? So you just don't need to understand that it's just a placement, it's just a position. So we
Hmm.
are actually equal. So if I'm not comparing my own life with this person, because probably the father is now more known than my own father, or the
Hmm.
mother is more known than my own mother, and I'm like, ah, this people. You should understand that I am in my place. And in my place, I am a champion, I am a king in my place. And then
Hmm.
remain there.
Wow. Thank you so much. Last question before you can add your additional points. And let's talk about social media. How can we shine as lights in social media era that we are right now? There are a lot of things. We go on TikTok, a lot of things. How can you shine as lights, especially for content creators, where there are chances that you want to slip away from your path and so on? But how can you still shine as lights in the social media space?
Before I move to the content creators aspect,
Mm,
let's talk to the general people.
okay.
Can you discover that social media does more harm than good? In the sense that, I know it's a debate topic,
Yeah, it is.
but
It's a debate.
in the sense that we want to check for something good. You go on Facebook and what pops up is nude pictures,
Yeah.
pornography, and all these things. It's just at your fingertip. Now, if you must shine as light, you must learn the avoidance strategy.
Hmm.
If you stay on social media for so long, when I mean so long, I'm not talking about 3 hours. So long can be 30 minutes. Now, the content, you are what you eat.
Hmm.
And the funny thing about social media is you don't, it's not an immediate act. When you eat it, it regurgitates, like goat that has
Yeah.
four compartments.
Mm-hmm.
It's after it has settled down that the image now begins to come alive. So if you have not learned the place of discipline, that's why discipline is cannot be overemphasized. Like you must be disciplined. You see, social media is anyone can post anything. There's no restriction. Anything you want to post,
Yeah.
post.
Post.
TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Post. Just post as much as you can post. Post. That's why you have to tell yourself, my heart. That's why I pity people that really live their life on social media. Like I have a friend that he has a strategy, and the strategy is this: if he has not read an amount of chapters a day, and
Mm.
pray for a certain time. I mean, I think his limit was 2 hours or 3 hours a day.
Mm.
And be reading like 4 to 5 chapters of the Bible a day. He cannot go on social media.
Wow.
Now, do you know what he's doing? He's trying to make sure that he has ate enough of the spirit. Like even though if by venture he by virtue of the eye he sights something of the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
what the weight of the spiritual food he has ate is able to counter the flesh. So now, peradventure, you that is out there that you don't even have the prayer time, you have to eat time. Now, you wake up in the morning, the next thing you do is to scroll on Facebook and all that. My question to you is your flesh is becoming fat, your spirit is slow. How do you want you, yourself rather, not to go with the lust of the flesh? That's why you see yourself struggling in pornography, in masturbation, down to fornication. Because the heart has already given an appetite to pant for more things because the spirit is weak. The spirit is weak. The spirit is weak. You have just imagine someone that's not eating food for days, and then you are comparing with someone that has been eating food. Of course, the person that eating food will defeat the person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like to say the spirit and the flesh they are contrary to God. So that's why you must understand that your spirit must be fed. If not, your flesh will overpower spirit. Now, coming to the content, so if you must shine as light, you must give more emphasis to eating the spiritual food than eating the food of the flesh. Hope you know comedies are actually food of the flesh. When I say food of the flesh, I'm not just talking about sin now. When people
Mm.
say food of the flesh, they're talking about because comedy feeds our flesh, right? Like
Yeah.
it affects more of makes us laugh, gives us temporary release of joy, happiness. We're just happy. We enjoy happiness, just happy, or maybe some other things are just news and all those things. Okay. But if you must strike a balance, don't allow your spirit to be less fed than your flesh. So don't allow the social media to give you more food than the Bible, the Holy Ghost, prayer, Spirit of God will give you food. You must take a balance. And you can adopt what my friend normally does. It helps and it really works. I think that's it. And coming to the content creators, now I remember saying in every place, everyone has his own place. So now the social media or content creators, that is your place. And my question is, what is your place as a content creator? I once had a friend that wants to that wanted to be like say a an actor,
Mm.
and in the friend's opinion it was like, okay, I'm not going to be a Christian actor, but I'm going to be Nollywood, but I'm not act bad roles. I will show them that I can be in between.
Mm.
But do you understand that the Bible made it clear to us that you cannot stand the fence? You're either here or not. Now, bring us to content creators. Content creators sometimes want to create that balance that I'm not really spiritual though, and I don't really do bad things. We are just there.
Mm.
Now, the fact that your content should not be so maybe likes of people that your content will just only praise, but brings like, what my point here is make it clear that your content edifies the spirit. So it might be a comedy, it's fun, but it leaves a depth of understanding of the spirit.
Mm.
If it is on talks, it must have a center from the spirit of God because you cannot be completely to the world. Maybe just talk about normal things. Those things you talk about are beautiful and good, but there must be a basis that edifies the spirit. So you don't just talk about, there's some kind of things that you cannot just talk about. So you must restrict your content to what must edify somebody positive. And if you must shine as light, that's why it's called shining as light. So you are shining, not that you just want to be in the number. To shine means to be spectacular. To shine means to be different. To shine means to have a different view, but you are shining as light. So light in the context that you are presenting God, which is light, and you are presenting Him in every fair that you are called to shine as. So as a content creator, you can shine as light. The pressure might be there. This person, this person, this person. This is what builds views more. Ah, let me just talk about the spiritual part of it. Do you understand that the world is spiritual and the views that we get and everything? There's a level that we can grow to that your views are naturally compared by the spirit.
Mm.
People just begin there's a level you get to that people begin to pant for you because of your essence. See, when you make yourself valuable in the spirit, so much more in the spirit, then God begins to uplift you in the physical. So if you are looking for a shortcut of doing the things of the physical and you are not giving the place of the spirit of going down, going deep in God, going higher in God, and you are giving more value on physical things, there should be a balance, of course. You should make sure that you are on standard, you are, your content are good, they're creative, they're wonderful, and as well, you will not neglect the case of because it's from the spiritual that controls physical. So if you give so much value to the physical and don't give value to the spiritual that controls the physical, then what do you think will control the physical? Because people cannot control the physical. It's not true. So as a content creator, you can shine as light.
Thank you so much. Are there other things I need to?
Okay, let me just highlight three things. Uh, okay, first of all, you need to ask yourself certain questions. It's emotional as right. Number one is who are you? Who are you defines your present reality, your present state. You must ask yourself, who am I? What do I have? You must be sincere to yourself. Am I even lazy? Am I hardworking? Am I punctual? Certain values that are just okay. What about my past? What about not even about your past? Leave your past aside. Who are you currently? Then the next question you will now ask is where am I going to? Now where you are going to will now make you know that there is an extent I must really shine as light. Because you know that if you are going to, if you are going to peradventure, you are going to place in night. And of course you need a light in the night. Now when you are going to determine how much light I should have, maybe let's say you're using a lantern, you know I need some extra petrol if we don't. So when you are going to determine to the extent of light I should carry. Now, if you don't know, if you don't have an experience of not even having experience, you must have a glimpse of how far you're going to. So you know to the extent you must shine. Of course, God will not reveal to you everything about your life. God will reveal to you bit by bit. But one thing God will do is to make you understand that you need to go far. He will give you an impression that there's a height I want you to reach. You know, if you look at a distance from here to as far as your eyes can reach, I bet you can judge from the physical thing you see. Okay, this is how it is. But do you know that when God sees, God is seeing a distance times 100 of what you are seeing. So when God is saying, this light I want you to carry, and you are saying, no, after all, I must not be this person now. God has seen the how far you are going to, and He's trying to pay you. But here you are like, I think, oh God, do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need this? So you must actually know where you are going to. Like, where you are going to is very important. So it will tell you, make so when you are even in a situation where people are making certain things about you, maybe you're in a situation where people are making jest of you, you tell yourself, this is not where I'm ending. This is a high and good. You know, there's anything that brings people down. Like you're in a place and people say things about you and they're mocking you and you're saying, how do you mock me? Tell yourself, where I'm going to is too far for me to be staying in a place where I'm not over.
Yeah.
So you keep on building. I don't care what people are saying. What I care is what God says upon my life, first of all. And where I'm going to. You don't look at at what people are saying. They are trying to make jest of you, mock of you, and all that. You must look at where you're going to, and you must also look at your background, where you're coming from defines your belief system unconsciously. If you are coming from a background where they don't believe you can be great,
Mm.
unconsciously you believe that you cannot be great. I've seen many persons on campus that have, in fact, they're like they have potential, but they don't see themselves breaking out because they are come back. I mean, you after you go to school, you come and be selling the shop. No,
Hmm.
that is that height, the limitation they have built around themselves. So you must, if emotion as light, you must define where where you're coming from will give you an instinct to believe that this cannot be my limitation. This cannot be where I'll stop. I must be more than this. Yeah, my father taught me how to start from. And it's not by mouth. It takes a depth of spiritual actions, conscious, renewals. You must speak to yourself. Like, speak to yourself every day. Speak to yourself every day. Come to the mirror and say, I am very capable. I'm great. Tell yourself, I cannot be small. When my father ended, I cannot end it. When my
Hmm.
mother ended, I cannot end it. When she ended, I cannot end it. And there is more. You are telling yourself, this is the height I can be. I'm going so far. And you see God, bringing you to that place. And you'll be surprised that you go. And then another point is you shine as light. Make sure that the environment around you are not those that will quench your light.
Hmm.
You must be very particular about your environment. If you cannot be in an environment where nobody believes that you can be shining as light and you unconsciously believe it already. So you are very conscious about your environment. Check your friends. If your friends are the type that you tell them, can we achieve it? And like, it's not possible now. No, no, stop. And you still flow with them. People that sees impossibilities in everything you see as possibility. You're in the wrong place. Run from them because you cannot shine a light there. Because somehow they will dim the light. So when you talk about shining of light, you must understand that there are times where you must consciously um, drift, you know, give your give give them space from yourself. Allow
Hmm.
yourself to breathe life. Yeah, you must be very conscious about it. And then the final thing is to shine as light, you must have contact with the light himself. Yeah, and the light himself is no one else but the one that commanded light to shine in the darkness.
Hmm.
The one who said, let there be light. There was light. That is Jesus, God himself. If you don't have a contact, you have not contacted the light of God, then you cannot shine as light. And the funny thing here is to the extent at which you've contacted the light of God, is to which you can shine. So if you just feel I want to shine as a light and if you don't want to really submit fully to Jesus, I've seen people person that they will tell you that I think Jesus is powerful, but I cannot really submit, I cannot fully submit to Jesus. Hmm? Then you're not really ready to fully get the light of God to shine as light. Yeah. Because the spiritual control the physical. If you
Yeah.
must shine as light in many aspects, you must have a spiritual backup. And
Hmm.
Jesus is the light of the world. He is the one that can give you light. That's why you must be in Him, go in Him, go deeper in Him. And grace will be given to you to shine as light. Jesus.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for this teaching. God bless you. I appreciate on behalf of the viewers. We are thankful. We are grateful. Thank you so, so much. So, guys, thanks for watching. See you next on the next episode for Hard Work. Bye.